Cool.
I think we are live now. Hey folks, welcome to Hellcat's Mini Arcade. With me here we have Terry.
Hello.
So, yeah, cheat codes in hand, I am back to doing what I've been doing. So.
Yeah, as I was saying before the stream, I refuse to play the second half of Final Fantasy VI because I went to a lot of trouble to recruit all the characters, and then for the game to say, you do it again, like, no.
Yeah. And especially with like no character depth whatsoever.
Yeah.
Really, the only character that changes at all is Terra.
Yeah. I love the game, the first half anyway. I really enjoyed it, and then that happened, and it's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not doing it.
And I'm done. Like,
yeah. And it was the exact same thing for a game called Pokemon Zeta and Omnicron. So that is the best Pokemon game I've ever played. It's not made by Nintendo. It's a fan project. But halfway through it, they're like, okay, get on this train to go to the next area. By the way, you can only bring one Pokemon with you. All right, I'm done. I'm not going to start from scratch in the middle of the game.
yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, you can go backwards and forwards as much as you want, but you can only ever have one Pokemon on the train at a time. So I suppose if you were dedicated, you could take one across, catch something else, put it in the computer, go back, and slowly, like, bring your entire collection across.
Yeah.
But that will take hours to do something that you shouldn't be, like, you should be able to just do. You should just keep your Pokemon. So, no. I love everything about this game except this, and that's a deal breaker. They did a lot of things right, because one of the things that everyone hated in Pokemon is having to teach your Pokemon really terrible moves like Cut and Fly and Whirlpool just to navigate the world.
Yeah.
And so these guys said, well, instead of teaching your Pokemon Cut, just find the machete. Like, it's a key item, it's part of the plot that you get it, and you can use that to cut down trees instead of wasting a move slot on one of your Pokemon with a move that is just very, very bad.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's awesome. I like that. They made it so you can catch every single Pokemon, the entire Pokedex for 6 generations without trading. But like, there's no trade servers anymore, so like you couldn't trade even if you wanted to. But the only trading you ever need to do is with NPCs. So like, the way you got Farfetch'd in the first one. It was really good. They kind of, anything I thought of to make Pokemon better, they did. Until the halfway point. I'm like, damn it. You had to ruin it.
Let's see. Yeah, that guy's got spring shoes. Ribbon.
It's actually quite interesting. A lot of people think 6 is the last good fighting fantasy game. Like, as soon as it went to 3D, it just died.
Shit. I didn't happen to mind 7 or 8. 7 or 8 were pretty good.
8 is a very contentious one. There's a lot of people who hate Final Fantasy 8.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree with them, but as far as I mean, the gameplay is pretty straightforward.
I think a lot of people misunderstood the junction system, and that led to them not liking it because it is a very complex system compared to something like the materia system of 7, where you pick the one you want and you plug it into your weapon or your armor. The junction system was fairly in-depth and quite complicated by Final Fantasy standards, so a lot of people, I think, didn't understand how to use it properly, and that's why they hated it.
Yeah. Well, and then there's a lot of like, depending on like what spell does better with what.
Yeah.
And it's different per character, which is also really kind of weird.
Yeah, it's very complicated. To use it well, you do need to understand it.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't fully understand the materia system, it doesn't matter. You can just say, I want to do a fire attack, so I'll use fire materia. Like, I want to steal, so I use steel materia.
Yeah.
Even if you don't utilize all the like fancy combinations and clever setups, it doesn't matter. You can get your head around the basics. The junction system doesn't work unless you fairly well understand what's going on. So I think that's what put a lot of people off.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I actually really liked 9. I thought the idea of learning abilities through your equipment was kind of cool. It's like, if you want to learn haste, you put on like the haste armor, but then you gain like ability points, and eventually you just permanently learn haste for that character. I thought that was pretty cool. But the problem is it makes you not want to upgrade your armor and your weapons, because like unless you sit there grinding the points to permanently learn stuff, like, this does like way more damage, but I don't want to give up, this ability. So I either grind for a few hours to permanently learn it, or I just give it up.
Yeah.
But I like the idea in general, even if the implementation was a little off.
Yeah, it's to be desired. Was that the one where you, like, once you learn something, you permanently have it in your...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's... I was thinking about that.
10 I absolutely loved. I think I got kind of swept up in the story. I think it was one of the more interesting Final Fantasy stories. And then everything after 10 has been bad. I hated 12. 11 and 14 were MMOs, so they don't even count as real games.
Yeah.
I hated 12. 13 was a disaster. 15 was okay, but Final Fantasy was not an open world game. What's that?
Final Fantasy, the walking simulator.
Yeah. 15 was okay, but it was more of an open world game than a traditional Final Fantasy game.
Yeah. I have to get rid of that.
Yeah, that was...
My son's glucometer is...
Oh, right. Is everything okay with him? Or?
He's high, so...
Oh, okay. Do you need to go take care of that?
Oh, no, he's with his mom, so...
Oh, okay.
I just get the information.
Fair enough.
Which is oh shit, it's kind of a pain in the ass when he's he hits that high at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh yeah, I mean
it's good to know.
It is,
but he's not like ever in the spot where it's not manageable.
Okay, well that's good.
So it's usually in the middle of the day when he's high for way too long. That's when you start to get concerned.
Yeah. I know fairly little about just diabetes in general. know that you don't want your blood sugar that high.
Yeah.
And the other thing I know is it makes you go to the bathroom a lot. You pee fairly often
Yes.
when you're diabetic. And that's about it. That's kind of all I've really learnt about diabetes. It's not been something I've needed to learn about, fortunately. Yeah, I was just thinking, if they announced Final Fantasy 16, would you buy it?
I haven't even played 15, and my friend bought it for me.
Okay.
So I'm not really all in.
No, I would need to see reviews because the series has been bad for too long. Yeah. I don't trust that a new game would be any good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like if people are saying, "Oh my God, this is finally a return to form. This is Final Fantasy as it used to be." Okay, I'll check it out. But if it's like, "Yeah, this is more crap, save your money," then yeah, all right, I will. Like, I didn't even buy. Well, I mean, I can't because I don't have a PlayStation, but I didn't buy the Final Fantasy VII remake because I don't know that I would want to play real-time combat in a Final Fantasy game. It's supposed to be turn-based.
Yeah. I do miss the turn-based.
Yeah, I can accept ATB, like the one Final Fantasy VII had, where you've got the thing that the meter that fills up to determine your turns.
Yeah.
That's fine. Because it's pretty close to turn-based, even if it's technically not. But
hey, gamer,
Final Fantasy. Hey, gamer, Billing. Final Fantasy X is the one that got the perfect combat system. It's turn-based, but you got a different number of turns based on how fast your character was, and that was what I want from a Final Fantasy game.
Oh my God. Too many cursed people. Hey, Ryan.
I'm not going to flag the light because I didn't see it until the second after you said I don't. Yes, hello to Ryan. This is one of the more interesting Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
It's with the remake of 7. I just watched a playthrough of it, and then I started watching a second playthrough of it because it's been about a year since that game came out, and so I don't feel tempted to buy it when it comes out on Steam. I'll just watch someone else play through it. Yeah, there's a lot of good parts to it, but I wouldn't spend money on it. It looks like there's a lot of slog through fairly boring sections.
Hey, Moo.
Oh, hey, Moo. Right, Final Fantasy VII Remake looks beautiful. That is a very, very good graphical accomplishment in that game. That's very, very nice to look at.
Yeah. I think they tried to do something with it that they didn't kind of let people know that they were trying to do something different.
I can fully understand the people who felt that they were conned by the game, because the name Final Fantasy VII Remake gives you expectations that were not met.
Yeah. It was a reboot full and full, but yeah.
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't call it a remake.
No. And the fact that it stops at like they don't even get all the way through the first disc of the original game. They're like it's the Shinra building is where it ends shortly after. So yeah, there's like, if they wanted to do the entire game in this remake style, they'd be looking at like 5 or 6 games. It's like, it's pretty crazy.
I'll save the curse shield for the other people. Until I get another ribbon.
Yeah, ribbons are always good. And the Game of Villain says Final Fantasy X gave us some feels, despite the main character being a spoiled brat. Yeah, I didn't like Titus or Titus or however you're supposed to say his name. I didn't like him at all, but I did like his father, Jekt. I thought he was a good villain.
My understanding of the Titus or whatever and the Jekt stemmed from what was it? The Dissidia.
Okay, yeah.
So my understanding's a bit elementary.
Yeah.
So
I never got to play Dissidia. I don't think it ever came out down here. Or if it didn't come out on a platform that I owned.
it was a PSP thing.
I never had one of those. But it sounds like an interesting game. That's the fighting game, isn't it?
Yeah. It was. Well, it was 3D, but it was like kind of a forced perspective 3D.
Okay.
It was almost like an over-the-shoulder type 3D game.
Oh, okay. If it got a Steam release, I'd probably check it out. Something I'd be curious to look into. I'm not going to go hunt down a PSP. It doesn't really seem like a worthwhile use of my time or money. But I think the PSP must be discontinued by now, surely.
Yeah. No, I very much I liked it. I bought it because I found out that Dave Wittenberg was voicing Kefka.
Okay.
And I really like him as a voice actor.
Cool. I don't know a lot of voice actors anymore. I kind of like all the ones that used to be famous in like the 90s. I recognize their names. Modern ones, not at all. I kind of fell out of the loop on that. But there's a game that's. Are you familiar with Guilty Gear, the fighting game series?
Mm-hmm.
One of the voice actors decided my character is black, so I don't have the right to be her voice anymore. And she,
yeah, I saw that. And then...
She stood down to allow a person of color to take the role. Ugh.
And did you see who took the role?
I saw a picture of her. She did look like to me, but it might have been a bad photo.
She looked pretty white to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I made sense to me.
You're kind of cutting.
Oh, that's no good.
Apparently the city is talking to the city, all right, Valine?
Yeah. Let me check, because Steam has pretty strict regional controls. It might be in America, but not in here.
Gotcha.
Ah, there's a free-to-play version. Was the original free?
No. I know that they put a PlayStation 4 version up. That was a free to go.
Okay. That's probably why I didn't look into it. It's like, oh, I know what a free game means. It means it costs far more than any normal game ever will. Because you have to pay for everything.
It's essentially just a demo, and then they're like, okay, well you'll just play for the. You'll just pay for the game, and then you don't have to download as much. It's just an unlock key or some shit.
Yeah. No, I did find it on Steam, and it is like wishlisted, even though it's a free game. But I don't know. I'm pretty wary when it comes to anything free because they usually end up being far more expensive.
Yeah.
And usually not fun. It's usually something sort of just interesting enough to sort of keep you playing, but it's never going to be like, oh man, this is I'm to turn it on, play for half an hour, and then that's the day kind of thing, or like and then leave kind of thing. Yeah, that's probably why I never bothered it. It's $45 to buy the standard edition, and $67.50 to buy the deluxe edition if I wanted to get like the season pass and all the characters and all that stuff. So
yeah, it seems like a bit much.
Yeah,
for characters.
Well, that's how a lot of fighting games are making their money these days. Like if you get Street Fighter 5, it comes with, I don't know, like I think it was 16 characters, something around there. And if you want anything else, you've got to buy season passes. And like each season, they gave you like 5 or 6 characters. And so, like the final roster is like massive, but only if you've paid for every single season. Otherwise, you've got some fairly tiny selection. Game of Eleni saying certain characters are DLC and most of the paid items are skins. That's okay then. I don't have a problem with skins being paid. I think that's far better than having characters be paid DLC. Because if you want to show off, your fancy color scheme, you can pay $1, $2, however much they charge for a new skin.
If you need it that bad, by all means.
But in anything competitive, I don't think you should be forced to pay for anything that affects gameplay. So you should not be at a disadvantage because you spent less money in a competitive game. So having something like Street Fighter, where these characters you don't have access to unless you pay $25, no, because that is inhibiting your ability to play the game. If they want to charge money for skins, I don't care, because your character's appearance doesn't actually change anything about the game. So yeah, all for cosmetics being whatever. And in single player games, you want to sell extra content, that's fine. Competitive, I think you need to try and keep money out of determining who is the better player. It should be down to skill rather than wallet.
Yeah. Yeah, pay to win is kind of sleazy.
Yeah. I find it makes it not worth winning. Like, if you win and you know that the only reason you won is because you paid more than the other player, well, do you really feel that good about it? It's like you haven't achieved anything, you've just handed over money.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be dissatisfied if I only won a game because I had outspent the opposition. But some of the skins in Street Fighter V are actually really cool. Like, I'm not a cosmetics kind of guy, and I'd buy some of them. Like, there's some that convert them into characters from other Capcom games. So I don't know who the base character is, but one of them you can make look like Arthur from Ghouls and Ghosts.
Really?
And like a bunch of them have skins that make them look like Darkstalkers characters. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, you spelled thought wrong there, Random.
But yeah, no, there's some really good skins for Street Fighter 5. I was impressed.
Hey, Keshal.
Oh, hey, Keshal. I'm not the kind to pay attention to cosmetics at all. I use default settings for everything. So if you can catch my eye, you've done well. I was playing the original Street Fighter 2 on a Super Nintendo later, and then I realized I actually have the 30th anniversary special edition on Steam, so I should probably play it on that. So that is a collection of about 12 different Street Fighter games, I think. But like, there's a lot of overlaps. There's like Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, are all on so it's sort of like, it's a lot of games, but a lot of them are very similar.
Yeah.
I know Alpha 3 is on there, but I don't think the other two Alphas are on there. I'll have to look into what the entire game list is. But yeah, it's a lot of Street Fighter games, but most of them are just variations of each other.
Yeah, it was. I think the last one I played was. I think my dad had it. It was Alpha 2.
Alpha 2 is my favorite. Of the Alpha series, Alpha 2 is the one that I always like. That's the one I played the most.
You have the red suit. You do not.
Yeah, the other game I've been playing is Wasteland 2, which is really good. So Fallout, as in Fallout 1, more than Fallout 3. If you like those early Fallout games, Wasteland 2 is going to be right up your alley. It's a better sequel to Fallout than Fallout 3 was.
I don't think they put very much good stuff on here to steal. At least nothing like pivotal.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, Final Fantasy VIII, if you don't get the mug skill, you're gonna miss out on some stuff.
Oh yeah. I think it's better when there's nothing essential, as in like super necessary, but it's still powerful. Like if all you're stealing is potions and Phoenix Downs, who cares?
Yeah.
At least you can still like mega potions and stuff they're gonna be happy that they got. But, yeah, I reinstalled Blaze Blue because Jack Jack Gunsky mentioned it. It's like I still haven't actually played it since I reinstalled it. It's just sitting there in case you or Jack ever want to play.
We'll definitely have to get to that one of these days.
Yeah, definitely.
Phoenix down right there.
It's funny, the time that I tried to play Jack, there was this guy that joined our room, and like he knew what he was doing, so he just destroyed both of us. And it's like he kind of like, well, I can teach it. Like, yeah, no, sorry, I just want to play against my friend. Sorry. And,
I mean, it's one thing to like you want to learn, but you don't want to like make it a serious thing.
yeah, I find it interesting, like to read about how to play at a higher level. I just don't incorporate that into any of my gameplay because it's all too complicated. But just reading about like, what the really good players actually do is like really interesting to me. But
Yeah.
I'm not at the level of doing anything near what those guys do.
I'm not anywhere near caring about making it that far. So like,
No, I don't like. I don't want to put in the work that would be required to reach that level. I just find it interesting, like hearing the really good players talk about sort of advanced concepts and things like that. I'm not training to win Evo. It's just
well, it's like I was telling my stepson when he tried to get me into World of Warcraft. I'm like, man, I have a family. I gotta take care of. Like,
yeah.
I don't have time to spend, 2.5 hours on the dungeon when my kid's got a diaper the size of the Rock of Gibraltar.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And even like I don't have a family that I need to worry about, but I just don't want to spend that much time on a single game. Like to really get good, you can't just play, a couple hours here and there. It's got to be like your focus. And I'm not going to be that dedicated to any one game ever. If I try, I'll just get burnt out on it too fast.
Like I get burnt out on a game that I don't play casually. Like,
yeah, like if I like properly studied how to get good, I'd be spending like workday hours amount of time just playing the same game over and over and over again, trying to get better at it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not that dedicated. I'm happy to just dick around against the computer.
Yep.
And I find it funny, people get so offended if you're not actively trying to become the best at something that they are personally invested in. Like, because I watch a lot of fighting game channels on YouTube, if you read the comments, someone will say, I only play against the computer. And it's like, you're missing the heart of the game. You don't learn anything against the computer. If you're not playing ranked matches, you're not playing. It's like, dude, calm down. It's not that important.
Well, that's like with like Mortal Kombat. Like I like playing against online people, but I know I am terrible at it.
Yeah.
Like I am not beating anyone. Like I think my record is what, like 0-9.
I mean, as I've pointed out, I lost to Jack, and he was just pushing the same two buttons over and over again, and because for some reason I'm so used to games like Street Fighter, I always forget to use like the barrier in Blaze Blue to push them away.
Yeah.
So like I was stuck in the corner and I couldn't think how to get out, and everything I tried, I just got hit. It's like, God damn it! And I can't get out of this. And then after the match, like, oh, I should have barriered. That's what I should have.
Yeah. Hindsight being what it is.
Yeah, but I was just like, oh, yeah. That makes sense. I should have done that. Oh, and the other thing is, I probably could have just bursted as well, but I use burst for overdrive so frequently that I forget you can also use it as a burst.
Yeah.
Like, my default is that's my overdrive button, not that's my burst button.
Let's see. This is the one I like to usually have fun with. Let's see, where is it? Here. Confuse everyone, and then you just let them kill each other.
Oh, right.
Or unless she steals something.
I don't think I'm fully sold on the new Guilty Gear coming out. Sounds like a lot of people are sort of, because the beta was only available on PlayStation, but a lot of the channels that I'm watching, and they're like, yeah, this still has problems, and like, oh god, this new beta is even worse. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna sit this one out at least for a while. So,
Alright, what do you got for us? And you're dead.
oh,
Oh, a ribbon. Good, sweet. You're only 10, 15 fights too late.
ribbons are great items if you go up against like the Marlboros. Those things,
Yeah.
you need a ribbon.
And they're like that with in every Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I think they started that back in, I think 4.
Oh yeah, I don't know when they started it, but I hate those stupid things so much. It's,
I'm not going that way.
and same with the Tonberry. I like Tonberries because I think it's cool that they look so inoffensive, and then they hit you once and you're dead.
I did like the Final Fantasy VIII getting the Tonberry King.
Oh yeah. I remember in 10-2, you had like the monster arena, and one of the fights that I always lost was up against the giant Tonberry. He's like, if he was one of the fights, I always lost. At least until like very, very late game when I'd leveled everyone up massively. What else?
You can't hit for shit. Oh. That guy can. I'm hoping one of these turns into a shield pretty soon. The one thing I can't stand about the Curse Shield is it's 255 fights, and it doesn't count for you. So the fact that I have multiple cursed shields, I don't know if it like has one set to a specific counter, and then if you take it off, it like resets the counter because it compiles them all together when you have them counted.
Yeah.
Or when you put like if you get more than one. So if you have one that you fought like 60 times and then you take them both off, like where's the counter?
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
It's like,
it's still, I like the idea of the curse thing that becomes really, really awesome if you sort of suffer through it long enough.
Yeah.
There is the worst thing was Final Fantasy 12, the stupid Zodiac Spear, where there were just 4 arbitrary treasure chests that if you opened them, it wouldn't spawn. Like, they weren't marked in any way. It was just... They just look like a regular treasure chest, and there's like a potion in it. If you open it, nope, too bad. It's completely unmarked treasure chest that looks like everything else. Just cost you the Zodiac Spear at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
That's really dumb.
That's... We want to make money selling the guide levels of unfair. Remember when game guides like that used to be a thing? I mean, it's been completely replaced by the internet now, but
oh yeah,
there used to be a time, and that was like a big thing. There's like Brady Games or Prima guides. They like released the official guide to the game. I actually just used reading them. I thought they were interesting, just as like ins and outs of the game. It had to be written well, though. I mean, sometimes they were just telling you obvious things that you didn't really need a guide to tell you. But when they were good, they were fun to read.
Yeah. Let's see. And then, yeah, some of the cheats that I found in there kind of made it like, oh, I wonder what this game would be like. And it made me, that actually sold more games than advertisements.
Probably, yeah. It's the same as streamers. Like, for all the fuss that they put up about, you're using our copyright, games that get streamed get more sales by like a lot. And that's actually why I forgot all about Nintendo, is because they were so strict about letting people stream their games that no one was willing to do it. So I just forgot Nintendo existed for ages. And they're like, I didn't keep up with their games. I still don't really. But like, all because they weren't on YouTube, because no one was willing to agree to their ridiculous terms.
Yeah. Well, someone's...
How many copies of Among Us do you think were made because they saw a stream and said, I want to play that, that looks cool?
Yeah. Let's see.
But technically Among Us is a free game, so if I hadn't seen it played on stream, I would have been like, yeah, no, I don't trust free games.
I think this one has a cheat that, well, some sort of cheat about infinite items, but I've never actually seen it established.
I know Final Fantasy VII has a glitch that lets you clone items.
Oh, there we are. Nice. Nothing like a spell way too powerful for this part of the game to get you through something.
But, yeah, there was a materia in 7 that let you use 2 items in the same turn. And then if you used one, then cancelled back out of it, there was like some way that it refunded you the item even though you hadn't used it yet, and you could like do that to duplicate all your items.
I thought it was a different part of the game, but apparently I'm not.
Okay.
I thought it was the part where I actually go converse with the Emperor about making peace.
Okay.
And then realize that I'm like, oh, I'm way before that.
See, I really like the summons. I preferred it when they were just damage spells.
Yeah.
Like, having them actually be on the battlefield and like active participants. I get why they wanted to do it that way, but I prefer the simplicity of like you summon Ifrit, you do a bunch of fire damage.
It's cinematically awesome to have it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as far as I'd rather just have them come in, do their cool shit, and then just leave.
Yeah. And I really don't like that in Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake, you can't just summon them whenever you want. Like, you've got specific fights that the little summon meter will show up on, and you've got to wait for it to fill up. Only then may you summon. Like, just let me do some cool shit.
Yeah.
If I want to waste Knights of the Round on, a goblin in Final Fantasy VII, let me.
That reminds me, you don't watch the anime, so there's a show called Cautious Hero. The hero is... the cautious is overpowered but overly cautious or something like that.
Okay.
And this guy gets summoned to this world. It's basic isekai shit.
Mm-hmm.
And this gal's like, oh, you've been trusted to do this, and you're gonna save the day. And he's just like, yeah, what if I don't want to?
Good question.
And she's like, well, you don't have a choice, because you have to until you... He's like, well, what happens if I die? And she's like, well, you probably and you'll go back to where you came from, and, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay. And then, like, every time he's just, like, he's expecting, she's expecting him to just whisk him away on an adventure, and he's good to go. And he's like, no, I need to think about this. And so he eventually ends up going. But what he does beforehand, he's like, I need to work out so that I can get this, I can get prepared for this. And he ends up working out for like a week. And she's just sitting there. She's sick of waiting by the time he gets done. But like a week's worth of workout, like raises his level like 15 levels.
Mm.
And he learns like I think it was Atom Splitter and Napalm Strike or some shit like that. Like this super powered moves.
Yeah.
And she finally gets him into town. She has him buy equipment. And the first thing you come across is a slime. It's just a little tiny little slime.
Mm.
And he's like, oh god, a monster. And he just uses his most powerful moves on it, like immediately. And he's like, she's like, I think it's dead. And he's like, nope, can't be sure. And then does it like 7 more times. And then he like brushes it all together and then casts Hellfire on it. And he does that with everything. Like he doesn't want it to be alive, so he's just like, all right. Yeah, they get to this town and they're attacked by this demon, and he kills the demon, and then like it shows him like sweeping up the town, and they're like, oh, he's cleaning up after helping us clean up after this lady destroyed this stuff. And what he's doing is just gathering the parts of the demon that are have turned to dust. And then he's like, he holds his hand out and she's like, you're not gonna, and he's like, and he casts Hellfire on it like 17 times. And it ends up destroying the town and incinerates one of the NPCs.
Oh well. Yeah, when I think anime, I think that one that Gabby and Vince are always posting pictures of with the girl with the giant boobs.
The oversized. Yeah.
And I think her shirt even says like super huge or something like that in Japanese. I forget. I think I found out the exact translation, but I forget it. But yeah, that's the one I think of because that's the one that Gabby and Vince always post pictures of.
Yeah.
I saw one episode of it when I was watching their stream, and the guy was playing Pokemon Go, and he kept catching the same Pokemon. They weren't called Pokemon. It was like,
yeah.
But he kept catching the same one over and over and over again, and that's all I remember. Oh, and he was on a train, and he got his face pushed into her boobs or something like that. He got squished up against her, and then he went catatonic, and he's just like Misty Stop.
Plenty of these. I shall use one of those.
Cool. Okay.
Ah, that worked.
I'm actually subscribed to a channel on YouTube called Anime Illuminati.
Really?
And despite the name, it's actually a fighting game channel, but he focuses on anime fighters like BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, things like that. Generally, anything made by Arc System Works is probably going to be a thing that he'll talk about. But yeah, it's funny. I don't watch anime, but I'm subscribed to Anime Illuminati. He's mostly just like, this is what's happening in the fighting game world. Like, if King of Fighters like releases another character trailer, is like he'll talk about it and like show the trailer. They're just sort of updates on like what's going on in the world of fighting games. But sometimes he just posts his gameplay footage as well. No, Sid. There's always a Sid.
Yep. No, I think he really tried to play Kafka like Hamill played the Joker,
Yeah.
and I think it works. It's as closest to the Joker as you can get without, a complete rip-off.
I don't actually know that much about Kefka because I only played the first half of the game and I only played it once.
Yeah.
So I've forgotten almost everything about this game except the names of some of the characters. And that you can suplex a train.
And you can suplex the train.
Yes.
Hey, Costin.
Oh, hey, Costin. There was a guy who had the ability to jump, like leave the party, and then when he came back, he learnt a new move or something.
That's a Gao.
Yeah, I hated him. Like I refused to have him in my party. And
there's a character you learn with him that if you select it, he immediately just commits suicide.
Oh God.
Because like the special move you use is like, I think it's one of them is an exploder, and then that's like the bomb. If you the bomb, and yeah. But there's another character. I can't remember quite what it's called, but yeah, he just ends up first move will just end up committing suicide.
I think from memory there was a character that you couldn't actually control, like it was permanently berserk.
That would be Umaro.
Ah.
The Sasquatch, yes.
Yes. And I'm trying to think what other characters I can remember. Not just like those are the ones that stood out because they were so weird. And like obviously there's the guy that has like the motions, like the quarter circle to do their moves.
That's Sabin right here.
Yes. And then there was one who had to like charge up his moves. So like there was like a thing that would fill up, and the more it filled up, the stronger the move he
that was
actually did.
Cyan.
And yeah, I remember those ones. Obviously, Terra and Selly's like the main characters. I think there's a ninja type guy as well.
And that would be Shadow.
Yeah. Am I right in thinking that he will leave the party if he gets bored?
Yeah, I think depending on how many times you get in a fight before, like right after you recruit him, or it depends on like what you fight. Because I've had times where just after the first fight, just fighting like two little like giant bugs, he'll just like, I'm gonna go now. It's like, dude, I just paid you half of my life savings, and you're just gonna go after one? Like, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I am. So I do like remember bits apparently, but I can't tell you the story. Other than stop Kefka.
Yeah.
And the world gets destroyed and after, and that's where I stopped.
Yeah,
The World of Ruin is the second half. Is it the World of Balance was the first?
Yeah.
It's, they should put all the Final Fantasies together in just like one giant compilation.
That'd be a lot of space.
Yes, it would, especially the later ones. Maybe just stop at 12 because I mean 10 was the last good one anyway.
Well, I thought about something like if they wanted to do like some sort of like on the nose type thing where like they have like World of Final Fantasy where they have like the two characters and then you get the chibi things that are cutesy, like you can use their powers and stuff. It's kind of like what's that mobile one? Brave Exvius. And I think if they did, I was thinking, you have someone like, say, Chaos.
Yeah.
Who's trying to, regain power or whatever he's doing in the first game. He wants to destroy the world or something. It's, basic bad guy premise.
Yeah.
And he tries to, he makes a move to do it again. And only this time he wants to alter the games that would have already been played so that, it disrupts the balance or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it gives you a certain amount of characters per each game. Like one character per game as far as like main ones, but like if you say like you want to go into Final Fantasy 1, you have your main character and then you have like your created characters. If that makes any sense. And
yeah,
then,
kind of.
Like those are the ones you can use. And then if you go to like Final Fantasy 4, like you can use Cecil, and then you can recruit anyone from that game, but only Cecil can leave the game.
Okay, I'm with you.
And then just like so on and so forth per each game. And then each game will be in the format that it was when it was made.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you can take, what's his name? The prince guy from 15.
Oh, Noctis.
Noctis. You can take Noctis into, like, Final Fantasy 2.
That'd be kind of cool, yeah.
And he'd be like a Final Fantasy 2 pixelate, like 8-bit.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't I do this? Sorry, man, you're stuck.
Did you
life here sucks.
Did you ever play the music game, the Fiat Rhythm, or however you're supposed to say it?
No. I don't really like rhythm games.
Yeah, it was good music, but the game itself is like, there's only so much you can do with a rhythm game, and being on mobile, you kind of like tapping and like swiping, and it wasn't responsive enough. Like kind of, especially since my phone is pretty small, so I was dealing with very, very small screen. Final Fantasy does have great music. It's just not a rhythm game kind of thing.
Yeah. All right then. I didn't see that coming.
are you playing with the randomizer on where you get stuff that's...
Yeah, you learn... you get random items for every character you beat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can imagine you can break the game pretty bad with random stuff on.
Yeah, that's why most of the people are already using like the strongest stuff they can possibly use. Oh, I can take the chair down off now, so. Ha ha ha.
And fire and drain and ice. Boom and break. Fire. There's a lot of stuff all happening at once.
Good shoes. Oh, you're stuck with those. Not that though. Here, have a ribbon. Sleeping bags. Take it. Oh yeah, I gotta switch the things now. I think there's an actual enemy on here called an emu.
What's that?
I think there's an actual enemy here called the emu.
Oh dear. You'll have to take the approach of that guy from the anime and just make very, very, very sure it's dead.
Oh, he must have a fire shield on, okay. Why are you hitting yourself? Go figure. Never that easy. Yeah, this shit's too random. Just give me the good stuff. You all are good.
I was just looking at that 30th anniversary thing for Street Fighter. It's actually got the first Street Fighter in there as well. The one that you can only be Ryu, and you fight against Birdie and Mike and Joe and all those guys.
I've dropped 16,000 frames.
That's not good.
I think OBS has a problem. And of course, you're gonna fight with this guy now, and they put him in the weakest shit.
Ooh.
But at least they could put a good shield on him at least.
I don't know why. I've been really, really tired lately. I just can't stop yawning.
One of those days.
Yeah.
Let's see. Your strongest dagger. Give you a much stronger shield. Now, flame shield. There we go. Nice one. Which one was it? Sure. Sweet, I chose correctly.
Always good.
The fire one is over here. Oops, not that one. And of course you did.
The second playthrough of Final Fantasy VII Remake was like a guy named Max. And it was funny because he just never bothered assessing anything like for the first third of the game.
Yeah.
And then like he got his ass kicked over and over and over again because he wasn't doing it right. And then like someone in his chat finally is like, why the hell haven't you been assessing anything? And like he used to get annoyed at them. It's like, because like they were telling him, oh, you've got to assess. And he's like, I will figure it out. I don't need to assess anything. Like, oh, fine. If it'll shut you up, I'll assess. He wouldn't read the assessment. He'd just close it immediately. He'd just do it because the quest for Chadley to assess it. He's like, fine, I'll assess it. And then he wouldn't read it and he just closed it. And then he just kept dying. He's like, fine, what's it say? He's like, oh, I was supposed to attack the ball, not the guy. That's how you stagger him. Okay, I'll do that. And then he just wins the fight. He's like, yeah, it helps if you know what you're actually trying to do.
Yes, it does.
He's the guy that's all he really cares about is how cool stuff looks. And he's not that concerned with playing properly until he's forced to. Because he would die and he wouldn't be upset that he died. He'd be like, did you see that shit? That was awesome.
Yay. Now I have the airship. Yay. No one cares. And it's close to midnight. I think I'm gonna dance around a little bit, and then I'm going to call it.
Fair enough. Yeah, because this Max guy loves Final Fantasy VII so much. When Cloud got announced for Smash Brothers, he was watching the announcement, and then as soon as the music started, like the beginning of the bombing run, like his jaw drops and he goes, no, it can't be. Like he's getting like ridiculously excited. And then it reveals this guy. He goes, oh my god, this is amazing.
There were a lot of people who did that when the remake was announced.
Well, this was Smash Brothers, like when Cloud was announced as a character in Smash Brothers. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like that there's so many characters not from Nintendo in Smash Brothers now.
Yeah.
Like, I like Ryu. He's one of my favorite Street Fighter characters. He should not be in Smash Brothers.
Yes. I am in agreement. Well, then you have the Belmonts, too. I mean... Bayonetta, they had, like, the Belmonts.
Oh, yeah.
And Bayonetta.
Like, what's the... like, Solid Snake? I don't think he should have been in the series. Sonic, like... So Sonic gets like half a pass because, like the rivalry between Nintendo and Sega, there's probably a lot of guys who are like, yeah, let's beat up on Sonic, that's cool. But Pac-Man shouldn't be in the game.
Yeah, and that was a Game & Watch.
Game & Watch was at least a Nintendo thing. Like, it's a dumb character, but at least it's from Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, I did like in Della's Who Dat video when the character was Game & Watch. Like there was no difference between the silhouette and the reveal.
Yeah, I like that one.
When he revealed the character, it was just an outline around the shape.
Oh, it was that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, big surprise to everyone, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a what was I? Adequately harassed. Adequate, I would say. Not bad. People were active-ish for an hour and some.
Yeah. We're now at 20 thereabouts.
Give or take, yeah. But I am going to head to bed. I have a long day ahead of me.
Well, I wish you luck with that. Hopefully, whatever's causing you to be busy, you're able to deal with it effectively, quickly.
Yeah, we're doing sim calls for my work.
Yeah.
Based on what we've learned so far. And it's not bad, but it's definitely nerve-wracking.
I got my team leader in trouble because I was at a training course and they said, what do you want to get out of this class? And I said, an hour of work. And they got my team leader in trouble because apparently she did not adequately explain why I was in attendance. Like, I didn't get in trouble. I'm the one who said it. My team leader gets in trouble for not explaining why this was necessary training. It was like how to deal with difficult people or some bullshit course that, they make you do because you're on the phone. But apparently that was the wrong answer.
Now, I was telling one of my coworkers and my training partner about the cat and the
Hat.
no, the cat and the guy who did the mix with the no thing.
Yeah, that was great.
I was telling my coworker about that, and then I told my trainer, who's down in Texas, and I'm like, I can't find, who it is because I'd forgotten my phone,
Hmm.
so I can't just be like, oh, you got to look up this guy on YouTube. You can find it. I actually had to do a Google search to find it myself, like on my own computer. And so
Yeah.
on our training line, you can overhear her playing the cat video. And she's like, "Oh, my friends are gonna go watch this now."
Yeah, no, that was a good video. I like that one. The singing cat, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. It's the other time I didn't get in trouble, but I got disapproving looks. Was I was at a time management class again, mandatory because they make everyone take these stupid things, and they were saying, "What's one of the problems with being under pressure?" And I said, "You get ripped off by Vanilla Ice." And like no one got it except the trainer, and she's like at me in like any serious answers.
Good lord.
But I thought it was funny. The only person who got the joke was the trainer. Everyone else was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
That's nice.
Uh, that cracked me up. Like, I think just the dead response of like everyone being confused was funnier than my actual joke.
That's usually how it works. But I do have to call it, so
All right.
we're going to be carrying on forever otherwise.
See you later,
All right.
everyone. Thanks for
everyone
coming out.
joining. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.